if there was an award for the most inconsistent YouTuber, I think I would win. Because I have been making YouTube videos since I was 14, 15, and I'm almost 27. And I only have 112 subscribers, which, again, don't care. But the lack of dedication that I've put in this channel is appalling, honestly. I really felt the strong need to come back to YouTube and talk about bed rotting. Yes, you've heard me. If you are part of the Gen Z generation, which technically I'm a zillennial, born in 1998. You're like a hybrid between a millennial and a Gen Zer, but whatever, who cares? Same thing, I guess. But that's been a very, very popular term among this generation, which I would perfectly describe it as that. That's exactly what I have been doing these for as long as I can remember. Honestly, since TikTok. And before TikTok, it was just me bed rotting, watching movies and YouTube videos, which actually felt more meaningful because I was watching, thought out, well made content. Not like there's not any, there is some really good content on TikTok, but it's just very short term. For those who are not familiar with the term bed rotting, I would describe it as quite literally laying in bed, procrastinating for extended periods of time, doom scrolling. Do you know what doom scrolling is? Doom scrolling is just scrolling into the abyss with no return. You're just in a constant loop. And in so many little rabbit holes, because every single little video is so different. You're being fed all of these videos that, make you feel all kinds of emotions, from showing you a really sad video of, say, like an animal dying or getting hit by a car, and then the next video is like a really funny one, and then the next video is it's the strangest thing ever. I don't think that's good for your brain to constantly be on a high and a low and having so much access to information. Don't get me wrong, I've learned a lot from it, for being in the interwebs for such a long time, but it gets to a point where it's just a little too much, and I just think that I'm starting to get really, really fed up. But yeah, I think bed rotting can definitely be kind of like a way of balancing out the high energetic world that we live in. It's especially in this country where it's very high achieving, high performing, you must stay productive. And it's just so bizarre to me, because I part of me wants to be a part of that culture, and then another part of me completely resents it, like it just doesn't make any sense. And I was thinking about this when my friend came down to visit. I'm sorry, I'm feeling kind of sick, so I'm a little congested. But my friend and I went to this coffee shop. She had some work to do. She works from home. And I had some homework to do. I was doing my statistics class. And we're sitting at this busy coffee shop. And I'm looking around at everyone. And it's just like Wow, this feels like a matrix. Like everyone is just glued to their computers, all working on something. Like they're all working on something. It's like, what are you all working on? Like, what are we working towards? You know, I see a girl. Clearly, she has her calculator, a notebook. She's doing her homework. Others are talking in meetings. Others are in face-to-face meetings because there's large table seating spots, and they'll have their laptops or taking notes or talking to each other face to face. Others are working remotely in Microsoft meetings, and it's insane. I mean, I know the world has always been like that, but it's just like kind of mind-boggling. I'm like, I don't want to do that. It's so exhausting. This world is just, and I don't want to sound like a nagger. Don't get me wrong. I also have felt myself want to be the, you know, work hard, play hard, like make all this money, blah blah blah. But I think I'm just starting to succumb to the reality of my situation. I just want to be happy, to be honest. And I think I found myself just so sick of sitting behind a screen, scrolling and watching people live their lives. And I've lived my life, I go camping, I do a lot of activities. It's not like I sit and rot all day. But I always find myself looking forward to just going home, and my bed is just waiting for me. Like my bedroom is such a safe haven, and I just feel so exhausted from, this type of world. But also knowing that if I lived a completely slow life, I don't know if I would enjoy that either. So I'm always kind of constantly in like discomfort. It's just like we live in such a high achieving, high productive world. And mind you, I live in San Diego. Like it's supposed to be more calm, and it is more relaxed. But everyone here, it's expensive to live here, so people are having to work. But I also don't necessarily think that bed rotting is bad. I think it is a symptom of what's going on in our world. You know, um, and it's kind of a way to just pause and, you give yourself the permission to stop and restore. And as long as you know that, don't let that take over your life. It's okay to bed rot sometimes. I allow myself to bed rot at least once or twice a week. No more than 3 days. If I'm bed rotting for 3 days, I will go insane. I will have to go outside. But if you find yourself bed rotting and you can't get yourself out of it, but you feel, at least for me, if I'm bed rotting and I know I'm not really enjoying it, but I don't want to get up either, I try to make something around me that I enjoy be more accessible to me. So I have a yoga mat that's right around the corner. I will just put it down next to my bed and then literally force myself to almost like crawl out of bed and get on the yoga mat and do some stretches. Just do that, You're still bed rotting, kind of. Not on your bed, but, you're kind of laying around and stretching, so, at least do that, or have a book, or have something available to you, or even a snack, something nearby. Make yourself like a little comfort box and put your favorite items in there that are easy for you to access. Journal, draw. You can do a lot of stuff on your bed that doesn't just include scrolling on TikTok, but I know it's hard. It's definitely really tough, but I really felt the need to finally speak out and talk about things that matter to me, because otherwise I just feel more empty. I definitely enjoy expressing myself and talking, even if it's not talking to people all the time, because Lord, I have become such a hermit the older that I'm getting, especially at 27. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this low resolution video, because you know what? My laptop is always with me, and I wanted to make this video, and that's another example. Like, I'm such a perfectionist sometimes, and it's like, I don't want to make a video, or I don't want to do this until I have this right equipment. Fuck that shit, who cares? Because you can have the most expensive equipment, and you can make the video, and that, sure, the quality's nice, but I feel like what matters is really what you're saying, and the right people will care, even if if you're filming out of a potato, or like a super HD quality camera or whatever. But at least I got this video done. Might continue to film like this until I finally stop being such a lazy piece of shit, and I actually start trying and putting out higher quality content. But right now I'm just trying to at least be more consistent, even if I look like shit and I look disheveled. Who cares? I hope what I had to say was somewhat valuable. So whoever's watching, you're doing great. It's okay to bed rot. Just drink some water, take care of yourself, read a book, touch some grass for a little bit, and go back and bed rot for a little bit. But don't waste your life just laying in bed watching the world around you move on. All right, that's it. Peace out.